Today in the European Parliament we have had a very good event, very thoughtful event, where Olha Reshetylova, she is the head of the Media Initiative for Human Rights, NGO in Ukraine, which takes care of detained civilians. Olga, welcome to the European Parliament.
Thank you.
And thank you, by the way, of joining this event and jointly organizing this event. You know, there are different categories of people in Ukraine. There are those who left Ukraine. There are those who internally displaced. There are prisoners of war. But we spoke about detained civilians. Who are those people? How many of them are in Ukraine?
Yeah, you know, we take care about different categories of those victims of war in Ukraine, but civilian detainees is maybe the most difficult category to work with, to work on this issue, because as we see, there is no clear understanding among the international community who those people are and why they were detained. Right. So our mission, let's say, is to explain that there is a huge category and it isn't just the category of deported people.
Right.
Yes, there are millions of deported Ukrainians into the territory of the Russian Federation.
Yes.
But when they came to Russia, they was like relatively free. Yeah. They could go to the third countries, they could stay in Russia and so on. But when we are talking about civilian hostages, they were detained, illegally detained, first in the
because they are not military people. They are not military personnel.
Yes, they just, some of them are pro-Ukrainian, actively pro-Ukrainian people. Some of them were like just random people. And they were detained. They were placed in different like torture chamber. Yes. They were severely tortured and then transferred to different facilities like prisons or pretrial detention center all over the Russian Federation.
And how many of them are?
At the moment, our organization identified 1,505. But we assume that this number could be much, much higher, as we don't have enough information from the occupied territories, and Russia doesn't confirm their detention,
right.
And nobody has access to those places of captivity.
Right. So today we had a possibility to listen to testimonies of some family members of those people who are illegally detained, which is a war crime. I mean, it's a crime against humanity. There is no any reason. But why Russians are doing this? What is the reason behind? I mean, how you would explain this? I mean, this irrational behavior, which indeed captivated so many people.
You know, this is the most complicated issue for us. We're trying to identify why are they doing this. First, we thought that they just needed this exchange fund for their soldiers,
right.
But they didn't.
It's not, yes.
Yeah, exchange. Then we thought that they keep them as a hostages for some negotiations, but they still don't use them
right.
during negotiations. So we assume that their goal is to keep in fair the whole communities, because they
it's like to terrorize local people.
Yes, this is a terror. Keeping or detaining one person, right. They keep in as a hostage the whole family and then the whole community and the whole Ukrainian society.
So what can we do jointly? I mean, calling on the international community, on European members, and so on. I mean, what can be done to help those people to, to come back to their families, to reunite and to get into the normal life?
First of all, let me thank to you for your support and for trying to raise awareness about this issue. This is very important because, as we mentioned at the beginning, not many people realize the problem. The first step is to raise awareness about the issue. The second is to create special mechanism how to release those people, because there is no legal or illegal, I don't know, any mechanism, any instrument how to make pressure on Russia to make Russians to let those people go and to stop further detentions. And the only way to prevent this crime is to deoccupy Ukrainian territories,
That's right.
to push Russians from the Ukrainian territory and to make human rights prevail on these territories, because everywhere where is the Russian control, there is no human rights, there is no freedom, and there is no life at all. That's why to help Ukrainian to win is the most sufficient way to deal with this. But of course we need to think how to reactivate different instruments that humanity created during the previous century,
Yes.
like the International Committee of the Red Cross, like the UN bodies and others. And also we call the European Parliament to adopt special resolution on civilian hostages and other crimes that are committed in Ukraine by Russians.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you for all you're doing on behalf of those people. They really need our support, solidarity, and whatever it takes, to release them from Russian captivity, which is absolutely inhuman and constitutes a major crime, which I'm sure they will be tried for and will come into kind of the process of responsibility and accountability. So thank you very much, and we will continue our work.
Thank you for your support.
Дякую.
Дякую.